Hi everybody, Michael Brown back with you. Welcome back to Educator.com's Adobe Photoshop CS6 course. We're talking about selections here, the most important technique in Photoshop. In the intro, I showed you how selections can take an image that you've corrected as far as you can get it and improved it overall, and by isolating areas, which is what selections do, and performing functions on the isolated areas, you can take that image to a much higher level. They are incredibly valuable. In this lesson, Basic Selections 1, I'm going to show you how to basic, correct, and modify selections with the basic tools. The tools being the marquee tools, which are up here, the second icon in the toolbox, both rectangular and oval. The lasso tools, which are right below that, freehand, polygonal, which makes straight edges, and the magnetic lasso tool, which doesn't really work very well because it ends up leaving you having to fix too many mistakes. The quick selection and magic wand tools, which are the third icon, or fourth rather, grouped together. And we're going to take a very brief look at quick mask, which is this icon second up from the bottom, which makes your selections visible so you can see the selection and the masked area in a visible manner. And I'm going to show you how to add and subtract to a selection while you're making it. There are other ways, but I'm just going to show you how to use the tools themselves to add and subtract from in this lesson. So let's get started. In the intro, I showed you that the marquee and lasso are similar in their options and functionality. They're kind of linked together. Quick selection and magic wand are linked together. The quick selection tool looks for edges by using texture and color to define an edge. The magic wand selects by using and looking for areas of similar color. It's only looking for color and a range of color. The quick selection tool finds edges by texture and color. Similar, but highly different in how they are affecting the selection on different images. One works on one image, it might not, another might work. The quick mask function allows you to see the visible selection, the visibility of the selection, and also you can paint to modify the selection. We'll talk about most of that in the next lesson, but a little bit right here. So let's get started. Okay, here's a blank. Let's use this image right here. I already have a selection on it. Let me get right here. Okay, we have this image. It's uncorrected. The rectangular marquee, we'll start with that. When you click and drag with a rectangular marquee, you get, actually it's better to use this for this. Click and drag with a rectangular marquee, you make rectangles. Once you've clicked and dragged and released, you now have a selected area. Everything inside of the bounding little lines, the moving dashed line, which we call crawling ants. Remember the term crawling ants. Everything inside the crawling ants is active. Everything outside the crawling ants is masked out. And let me show you that by doing this. Let's just go ahead and take a curves, and it should darken things down. There we go. Notice everything inside of the boundary was affected, nothing outside of the boundary at all. Now, that looks pretty much like a square. You could make rectangles. If you hold down the Shift key, when you click and drag Shift on either the Mac or the PC, doesn't matter how you drag, it drags squares. And it drags from that point where you started.